Welcome to ComfortTV.channel news, bringing you verified and balanced news from Nigeria and around the world. My name is Faith Kevin. Thank you for joining us. In the headlines, President Tinubu pardons Herbert Macaulay and Ogoni 9. Lagos State Examinations Board announces 2025 trade test for artisans and technicians. Right Food partners Wimbies to inspire young girls. APC disqualifies 2 Ekiti governorship aspirants. Owners of controversial Asaba orphanage surrenders to NAPTIP. NUJ National Secretariat pays courtesy visit to NHIA. On business news, aviation sector contributes 1.3 trillion naira to GDP in 10 years. CBN bets on easing cycle to sustain investor confidence and stabilize FX markets. On the foreign scene, Gaza Civil Defense says Israeli forces are pulling back from several areas. And Taiwan leader promises robust air defense system amid rising China tensions. In the sports world, former Super Eagles GK defense haircut after displays against Argentina. And Napoli bosses to face court trial over Osimhen transfer. Now the news in details. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has granted a posthumous pardon to several historic and contemporary figures, including Nigerian nationalist Herbert Macaulay, Major General Mamman Vatsa, and the Ogoni 9, who were executed in 1995 under the military regime of late General Sani Abacha. The president also extended clemency to 82 inmates across the country and approved national honors for 959 Nigerians and foreigners in recognition of their contributions to national development. Herbert Macaulay, co-founder of the National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroon's NCNC, alongside Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, was unjustly convicted by British colonial authorities in 1913 and banned from public service. Although he died in 1946, his conviction remained on record until now. Similarly, Major General Vatsa, a poet and military officer executed in 1986 over an alleged coup plot, was among 17 individuals granted presidential pardons following the endorsement of the National Council of State, which met in Abuja. Others pardoned include Farouk Lawan, a former member of the House of Representatives, Mrs. Anastasia Daniel Umwobia, Hussaini Umar, and Ayinla Saadu Alanamu. Presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga said the gesture was based on recommendations from the Presidential Advisory Committee on the Prerogative of Mercy, PACPM, chaired by Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi-San. He explained that the clemency was granted to enable the beneficiaries reintegrate into society, having demonstrated sufficient remorse. Among those pardoned were Nweke Francis Chibueze, serving a life sentence for drug trafficking, and Dr. Nwogu Peters, who had served 12 of a 17-year term for fraud. The Ogoni 9 were formally pardoned, while the Ogoni 4 received posthumous national honors. The PACPM, inaugurated on January 15, 2025 by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, reviewed 294 applications and interviewed 175 inmates across correctional centers. Its recommendations were based on factors such as old age, terminal illness, good conduct, and rehabilitation efforts. President Tinubu's gesture, coming amid national reforms in the justice sector, was described as a significant step towards promoting reconciliation, rehabilitation, and restorative justice in Nigeria. The Lagos State Examinations Board, under the supervision of the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, has announced the conduct of the year 2025 trade test for artisans and technicians across the state. According to the board, the proposed dates for the 2025 trade test are 18th October 2025 for the theory component and 21st October 2025 for the practical test. In a statement issued by the Director and Registrar of the Lagos State Examinations Board, Mr. Orunsholu Adebayo, the exercise is designed to evaluate the competence, skill and proficiency of artisans and technicians in various trades, with the aim of promoting technical excellence and professional certification. He emphasized that the trade test remains a vital instrument in enhancing productivity, employment opportunities and socio-economic development in Lagos State. Mr. Orunsholu disclosed that candidates will be examined in different trades such as tailoring, electrical installation, carpentry and joinery, hairdressing, barbing, catering, shoemaking, amongst others. The test will be conducted in 3 grades, 2, 3 and 1, to accommodate participants at different levels of expertise. Designated test centers include Government Technical College, Ikotun, Government Technical College, Ekpe, Skill Acquisition Center, Egbeda, and the Lagos State Examinations Board. Mr. Orunsholu encouraged all eligible artisans and technicians to prepare adequately and take advantage of this opportunity to gain formal recognition for their skills. He reaffirmed the commitment of the Lagos State government to continuously support vocational and technical education as a cornerstone of sustainable development and youth empowerment. Right Foods Limited has reaffirmed its commitment to youth empowerment and mentorship through its partnership with Women in Management, Business and Public Service (WIMBIS) for the annual WIMBIS Big Sister Program 2025 held at Majidun Senior Grammar School, Ikorodu. The program, an initiative of Women in Management, Business and Public Service (WIMBIS), is designed to mentor and inspire young girls with the knowledge and confidence to thrive in their chosen academic fields, future careers and personal lives. Speaking at the event on behalf of Right Foods Limited, Corporate Communications Manager Olukemi Ogunsaki charged the girls on resource management, resilience and adaptability. She encouraged the students to take challenges as life's way of molding them into women of strength and virtue. She further noted that the WIMBIS sponsorship highlights Right Foods' role as a quality food and beverage product producer and as a brand deeply invested in mentorship, youth development and empowerment in Nigeria. This initiative aligns with Right Food Sustainability Framework (EYEC), education, youth empowerment, environmental stewardship, and community development, which focuses on creating opportunities that nurture talent, inspire growth, and shape lives. Through programs like the WIMBIS Big Sister initiative, the company continues demonstrating its commitment to empower the next generation while encouraging a more inclusive and progressive society. The ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) has disqualified 2 contenders from its governorship primaries in Ekiti State slated for next year. APC Deputy National Publicity Secretary Durome Seko disclosed this to newsmen after the National Working Committee (NWC) meeting held at the party's National Secretariat in Abuja. He said the incumbent governor, His Excellency Abiodun Oyebanji, and another aspirant, Mrs. Atinuke Oluremi Omolayo, were cleared for the primaries, while Engineer Kayode Ojo and Mrs. Abimbola Olajumoke Olawomi was disqualified. Analysts say the move has cleared the path for Governor Oyebanji to secure the party's ticket, as Engineer Ojo, considered his strongest challenger, has been eliminated from the race. The APC primary election is scheduled for October 27, while the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has fixed July 20, 2026 for the main election. The Publicity Secretary said the 2 aspirants were disqualified for failing to comply with the party's constitution and the Electoral Act 2022 as amended. Efforts to get their reactions were unsuccessful. He also announced that the party's Reconciliation Committee, headed by Pioneer National Chairman Chief B.C. Akonde, will be inaugurated soon. In a related development, the NWC dissolved the APC executive in Enugu State, a move political observers believe is aimed at paving the way for the anticipated defection of Governor Peter Mba from the People's Democratic Party to the APC. The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, said the owner of Happy Home Orphanage, Mr. Christopher Moye, a controversial facility in Asaba Delta State, has surrendered to the agency. This was contained in a statement by NAPTIP press officer Mr. Vincent Adekoye in Abuja. NAPTIP in a statement said that Mr. Moye was evading arrest. Mr. Adekoye said that 4 other women from the state who were laying claim to some of the children rescued from the orphanage were currently being quizzed by the agency. According to reports, the suspect was said to have accommodated in his orphanage children allegedly stolen from Kano, Gombe, and other states in the northern region. The NAPTIP press officer said that more than 70 children were discovered in the orphanage during a raid by operatives of the agency in June. He said that some of the children alleged to have been bought by the orphanage were rescued by the agency. He revealed that among the 70 children found in the orphanage were 15 newborn babies, with 8 of them rescued and traced to be part of those allegedly stolen from Kano and Gombe. Speaking on the development, the Director General of the agency, Hajia Binta Adamu Bello, said that since the suspect had surrendered himself to the agency, investigation will commence in earnest. According to her, the children have been rescued and are in a protective shelter, receiving the best care pending the conclusion of the investigation. The NAPTIP boss clarified that the children were not being forced to embrace another religion and they would not be forced to do so. Hajia Adamu Bello said that the women who claimed ownership of the children and refused to respond to the agency's invitation earlier were also in the agency's facility and were being interrogated to ascertain their claims. She added that the matter will be thoroughly investigated to uncover the truth, including the conduct of DNA, before a final decision will be taken on the parenthood of the children involved. The Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, National Secretariat led by its National President Al-Hassan Yahya, paid a courtesy visit to the Director General of the National Health Insurance Authority, NHIA, Dr. Kelechi Ohini, at the NHIA headquarters in Abuja. The visit aimed to strengthen the partnership between NUJ and NHIA in promoting healthcare delivery and health insurance coverage for journalists and Nigerians at large. The NUJ president acknowledged the efforts of the NHIA and its Director General in delivering on their mandate to provide affordable health insurance premiums and quality healthcare packages, particularly for low-income earners. In his remarks, the NUJ president commended the NHIA's efforts but emphasized the need for synergy between the two organizations to effectively convey information about the reforms introduced and to enhance public sensitization. He sought collaboration with NHIA to train journalists across the 6 geopolitical zones, enhancing their capacity for quality reportage on NHIA operations. The NUJ president also advocated for affordable health insurance coverage for journalists, particularly those in private media establishments. He urged the NHIA to consider the unique needs of journalists in the informal sector, ensuring that they have access to quality healthcare services. Director General of NHIA, Dr. Kelechi Ohini, expressed his delight in welcoming the NUJ leadership to his office. He acknowledged the long-standing friendship between the NHIA and NUJ, describing Al-Hassan Yahya as a guru in health reporting. The NUJ's advocacy for affordable health insurance coverage for journalists highlights the importance of social health insurance and promoting the welfare of media practitioners. The meeting concluded with a renewed commitment to collaboration and partnership between the NUJ and NHIA, paving the way for improved healthcare delivery and health insurance coverage for journalists and Nigerians. ComfortTV.channel news will return shortly with business, foreign and sports news. Stay tuned. Many thanks for staying tuned. This is ComfortTV.channel news. The news continues with business news, where Nigeria's aviation industry has long been a subject of debate regarding its impact on the nation's gross domestic product. Over the past decade, the sector's official contribution has remained relatively modest when measured against the performance of other key industries, despite its vital role in connectivity, trade, and economic growth. Analysis from data compiled from the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) from 2013 to 2023 showed that the contribution of the sector to the nation's GDP is over 1.3 trillion naira, and within this time frame has hovered below 0.5%. It is, however, important to note that the aviation sector plays a pivotal role in attracting foreign direct investment, which has continued to grow steadily over the years. The sectoral breakdown shows that overall, finance and insurance, agriculture and information and communication have been consistent drivers of Nigeria's GDP growth, while the aviation sector has struggled to make any meaningful impact. Still on business, Nigeria's central bank has opened a new chapter in its monetary policy playbook, cutting its benchmark interest rate for the first time in 5 years and signaling a gradual pivot from a long spell of tightening to a more balanced aimed at sustaining disinflation, stabilizing the naira, and boosting investor confidence. The decision underscores confidence in recent macroeconomic gains, slowing inflation, stronger foreign exchange inflows, and a resilient external reserve position that have allowed policymakers to begin a controlled easing cycle without jeopardizing price stability. Governor Olayemi Cardoso, unveiling the committee's decision, said the policy adjustment reflects the improving inflation outlook and a broader macroeconomic environment that supports credit growth and private sector expansion. Nigeria's move, analysts say, is part of a global shift from aggressive tightening to a cautious easing cycle as inflation cools and economies adjust to post-pandemic normalization. Onto the foreign scene, Gaza's civil defense agency said that Israeli forces have begun pulling back from parts of the territory, particularly in Gaza City and Khan Yunis. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office said that the government had approved the framework of a hostage release deal with Hamas as both sides edged closer to ending more than 2 years of hostilities in Gaza. Israel previously said all parties had signed the first phase of a ceasefire agreement, adding that Hamas freeing the captives will bring the end to the war. The accord in Egypt follows a 20-point peace plan for Gaza announced last month by U.S. President Donald Trump, who said he planned to leave on Sunday for the Middle East. Egypt is planning an event to celebrate the conclusion of the deal, with Trump also expected to stop in Israel and consider going to devastated Gaza. Prime Minister Netanyahu has faced pushback from his far-right allies, with National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir saying he would vote against the agreement, calling the plan to release thousands of Palestinian prisoners in exchange for the 47 hostages remaining in Gaza an unbearable heavy price. Despite celebrations in Israel and Gaza and a flood of messages from world leaders hailing the deal, numerous issues remain unsettled, including the plan's call for Hamas to disarm and a proposed transitional authority for Gaza led by Trump himself. Senior Hamas official Osama Hamdan said the Palestinian Islamist movement rejected the latter. Trump said the issues of Hamas surrendering its weapons will be addressed in the second phase of the peace plan. Still on the foreign scene, Taiwan's President William Lai Ching-te pledged to accelerate the building of a T-dome air defense system in the face of military threats and overall increased defense spending. President Lai on Friday said his government will establish a rigorous defense system with high-level detection and effective interception. He also pledged to increase defense spending to more than 3% of gross domestic product and to reach 5% by 2030. Much of Taiwan's existing air defense system are primarily based on the United States-made Patriot and the Taiwan-developed Skybow missiles. Taiwan is a self-governing island off China's east coast that the Chinese government claims as its territory and says must come under its rule. President Lai called Taiwan a hub of peace and stability in the Asia-Pacific region. The U.S., like most countries, does not recognize Taiwan as a country, but it supplies the government with military equipment for its defense and opposes any use of military force by China to settle its disputes with Taiwan. Onto the sports world, former Super Eagles goalkeeper Dosu Joseph has rallied support for teenage shot-stopper Ebenezer Harcourt following Nigeria's exit from the 2025 FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Chile. Ebenezer Harcourt, who was a key figure for the Flying Eagles during their qualification and continental campaigns, has come under heavy criticism after a series of errors contributed to Nigeria's 4-0 defeat to Argentina in the round of 16. The 15-year-old mistimed his movement that allowed Alejo Sarko to score in the second minute and later failed to stop Mahar Carrizo's free kick in the 23rd minute, both goals that tilted the match in Argentina's favor. The Olympic gold medalist Dosu Joseph took to social media to defend the young goalkeeper, urging Nigerians to show understanding and patience. Before the World Cup, Harcourt impressed with his outstanding displays at the WAFU Zone B Championship and the Under-20 AFCON, where his penalty heroics helped Nigeria secure a bronze medal. However, he found it difficult to replicate his impressive form at the 2025 FIFA Under-20 World Cup, conceding in every match of the tournament. Following the underwhelming, Harcourt is expected to take the experience and criticism in stride as he works to improve and continue his development. Still on sports, it has been confirmed in leaked messages that Napoli bosses were involved in false accounting over the amount spent on Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen. The 26-year-old was part of the Napoli team that won the Scudetto for the first time in 33 years. He was also the league's highest goal scorer in the 2022-2023 season. In 4 years at the club, the 2015 FIFA Under-17 World Cup winner scored 76 goals and provided 18 assists in 133 games before joining Galatasaray permanently this summer. However, an investigation into the striker's move from LOSC Lille has begun after WhatsApp chats began between various figures involved in the agreement was published. According to the information from La Repubblica, Lille proposed that they would sell Osimhen to Napoli for around £15 million, but the fee rose with another £20 million plus increase in artificially inflated fees for extra players. With an agreement on inflation reached between the negotiating parties, they opted to include some players to level the playing field, Orestes Karnezis plus 3 youth-term players. Lille requested Karnezis' value in the then 35-year-old goalkeeper at $35 million. However, the president of the French team cautioned the Napoli broker. With the emergence of this evidence, the tribunal in Rome is seeking a trial for false accounting. Rome prosecutors Lorenzo Del Giudice and Giorgio Ornano have already requested that Napoli president Aurelio De Laurentiis and CEO Andrea Cervelli stand trial for alleged false accounting between 2019 and 2021. While a trial is set to ensue, it appears Osimhen wasn't fully aware of the details of the contract that took him from France to Naples, and it's probably played out in the further renewals he penned at the club and his long drawn-out exit process. That's our news bulletin for the moment, but before we go, here is a recap of our top stories. President Tinubu pardons Herbert Macaulay and Ogoni 9. Lagos State Examination Board announces 2025 trade test for artisans and technicians. Right Food partners Wimbies to inspire young girls. APC disqualifies 2 Ekiti governorship aspirants. Owners of controversial Asaba orphanage surrenders to NAFTIP. NUJ National Secretariat pays courtesy visit to NHRA. On business, aviation sector contributes 1.3 trillion naira to GDP in 10 years. In the foreign scene, Gaza civil defense says Israeli forces are pulling back from several areas. And on sports, former Super Eagles GK defends Harcourt after display against Argentina. Thanks for watching. For breaking news, exclusive interviews and more, Follow us online at ComfortTV.channel on all platforms. Remember to like and share our videos, subscribe to our channel, and click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any updates. I am Faith Kevin. Until next time, stay connected, stay informed.